The stage is set at Wilkins Stadium in Wichita, Kansas for the final series of AUX Softball. It's one of the sport's biggest stars, the NCAA home run queen, Joselyn Alo, leading the pack, hoping to be crowned champion in her first ever Athletes Unlimited season. But Bubba Nichols hot on her heels thanks to 4 home runs of her own, including a game winner to cap Series 2 earlier this week. Those two lead the hitters on the leaderboard. Mariah Masson leads the way for the pitchers in the circle. She's captaining her team for the first time ever, fresh off the first complete game shutout in AUX history. Series 3 starts right now. Another fantastic crowd in Wichita, Kansas. The first of our doubleheader to kick off Series 3. It's Team Alo taking on Team Masson in the heat. The doubleheader for Mariah Masson and company. Tough day to do it, but the wind is also blowing to kind of cool us off just a little bit. Alongside the 2-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. 6 games to go and a lot to play for still.
And we've already done so much. I mean, the games have just been tremendous. They've had such great energy. They've come down into the end. It's come down to one swing, one play, and I don't expect anything different for Series 3 coming up. And everything has been so even. 10 of the 12 games have been decided by 2 runs or less. And that's why the top of the leaderboard is so even as well, with Joselyn Alo pacing the way. Once she got up to the top spot, she is not giving it up. That is where she has remained for all these games. Bubba Nichols has hit the 4 home runs just like Alo, both hitting for a good average, and then Masson and then Taylor Edwards, Delaney Wiz, all in the mix. But that's why in this game and in Series 3, every at-bat, every inning, every win is so important to try to gain some ground and catch up with Alo.
Masson, the lone player or lone pitcher in the top 5. This is the lineup she will face. Joselyn Alo puts herself in the 2-hole. Those 4 home runs tied for a league best. Taylor Edwards and Sam Fisher right behind her. The pitcher, Alicia Ocasio, will hit in the 9-hole as well. Well, here we go. We are just 4 days away from crowning an AUX champion. And it's time to begin Series 3. First pitch from Masson is outside to Haley McClenny. And here we go. Mariah Masson in her 3rd season from Tulare, California, fresh off the first complete game shutout in AUX history. A 1.40 ERA on the season. To do that against these hitters is ridiculous.
It is. It's the best ERA this season by far, and she's starting games and she's going deep into games, and that's so impressive to go against these lineups 3, potentially 4 times. A couple of complete games. She has that complete game shutout that you had mentioned earlier on, and that is just so hard to do against these pitchers, against these hitters that she's facing. Goes to show how well she has been pitching this season.
2 of the 3 complete games on the season belong to Masson. The other one belongs to her first pick of the draft, the first overall pick in the Series 3 draft, Alyssa Denham, who I would expect to see starting game 2 today, but see how it plays out as this one goes on. 2-2 to McClenny. Really takes down low for ball 1. She's always going to give Joselyn Alo in the 2-hole, or whoever's behind her, are going to get a great look at this pitcher because McClenny works counts so well. (3-2), slow roller foul.
And that drop ball is going to be a pitch that Masson wants to go to early and often throughout this game. It's her fastest pitch that she throws. She'll throw it 68, 69 miles an hour down in the zone, and with the wind that is blowing hard out today, she's going to want to keep the ball down and in the ballpark and utilize her infield.
Outside ball 4, McClenny reaches with the walk. That's worth 10 points on the leaderboard and sets the table for Joselyn Alo. First at bat of the final series for the former Oklahoma superstar. 3rd best average in the league at .375. 4 home runs, has driven in 7 runs, has struck out just twice. Has hit 2 home runs in each of the first 2 series, hit .308 in Series 2. Oh, my goodness.
That ball flies off of her bat. That's why if it gets up there into that jet stream with how hard the wind is blowing, it has a chance to go a long ways. I just can't believe how hard the wind is blowing here today.
About 18-mile-per-hour winds, but gusts up to 35 miles per hour. She wouldn't have to do much, but if she hit one like she can, there's a parking lot that would probably be about 320 to reach, and I think that's well within her range.
Did you go step that off yourself before
No,
the game?
it's a total estimate, so I'm probably about at least 150 feet off. There it is.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that
I think it's more than
parking lot
320.
looks hot too, by the way, just being on that concrete or whatever you call that.
Gets away. McClenny's going to take second. Another full count here, back-to-back to start the game for Masson.
Well, and this command has been something that Masson has been so good at. Just 4 walks in her 20 innings coming into this game. Just 8 strikeouts in those 20 innings, more of a pitch to contact.
Ooh, and Alo goes down looking on the inside corner right there.
Yeah, and that just doesn't happen very often. I don't think that she agrees with this call, but it's early in the game. You're figuring out where the umpire's strike zone is, and this one at the top of the zone looked like a rise ball that was lower and just freezes Alo. She thought she walked and said she struck out looking, a huge out from Masson.
Taylor Edwards sends that one foul. Taylor Edwards, the first pick by Joselyn Alo. And just kind of an interesting decision. You don't see that a lot, but we've seen Taylor Edwards go high in every draft this season, and you just see the respect that these players have for her. Even though Joselyn Alo isn't a pitcher, is setting her pitchers up with one of the best catchers in the league. She's got 3 home runs on the season, too, down 0-2 and way out in front of that.
Yeah, that's the tricky part about when Masson goes up in the zone, is that her rise ball is a little bit off speed compared to her drop ball. So if her drop ball is 67, 68, her rise ball and her curve and her screw are just at a level just below that. So she can ramp it up, but then go a little bit off speed with those 3 pitches that are all about 63.
Another 0-2. Oh, hit well into center field. Right at Wiggins, though. She goes to second, not in time. There's 2 outs. See on leaderboard, some big names there, 6 through 10. McKinney and Vidalis, they've still got a chance. I mean, the top 10 to 15, really, and you could probably go further than that, but there's a lot of players that are still in this right now, and every day we'll learn a lot about the possibilities for our next champion. There's only been one hitter-specific player that has been crowned champion at Athletes Unlimited. It was Deja Mulipola in the 2022 championship season. But they've been so close. And then that one pitcher, like Masson now, she's the only one in the top 5. That one pitcher finds a way, it seems like, every time.
Well, and especially if you're a pitcher who can hit, too, like an Alicia Ocasio, like a Rachel Garcia. I mean, that helps you out to be able to rack up some individual points and contribute on both sides of the ball to try to get some inning wins, some team wins. A lot of points quickly.
Ball from Sam Fisher, 2-2 count. Just checking on Jordan Roberts, I think. Kind of fouled that off of the veteran catcher from Florida. Jordan got hit with a backswing the other night, too, and just the life of a catcher.
That is the life of a catcher. Non-stop, just getting beat up.
Wow, that was close from Masson.
And then she could go to that 3rd speed that drops it down all the way to 55 with her changeup. So just really impressed with her command through this season and her ability to mix speeds and sequence pitches.
3-2, another full count for Mariah Masson here in this first inning. Sam Fisher ended up on the ground. I think she's all right, but something uncomfortable.
Oh, ended up hitting off of her front leg. Oh, right off of her knee. You know, kind of just wish that that ankle guard, that shin guard could just go all the way up the entire leg. Oh man, that's gonna hurt.
Give it a few years, right?
Yeah,
We'll get there.
That's true. That's not the first time that she's done that to herself, Sam Fisher. It's happened before.
24th pitch of the first inning from Masson. Fisher fights that off.
Well, that feels good for Team Alo to see this many pitches from Masson, knowing that she likes to go deep into the game and that she can. You want to get her to throw a lot of pitches in these early innings and try to wear her down, especially with the heat and how warm it's going to be today.
Fisher deep to left, doesn't need help from the wind. That is crushed over the scoreboard for the veteran Sam Fisher. Team Alo on the board early.
Well, that'll certainly make your knee feel better that you just hit a ball into by your own doing. And this is an adjustment. So if you're hitting into your knee, you're getting the top of the ball and getting an inside pitch that you hit into yourself. And Sam Fisher gets the bottom half of the ball, gets underneath it, gets all of it. In at bat adjustment by Sam Fisher, who I'm sure was fired up after hitting one into her leg. And how about Sam Fisher having the home run queens back? She struck out this inning, but it's Sam Fisher who hits the bomb to get their team on top.
And with Joselyn Alo at the top of the leaderboard, she will just need her team to win this weekend, and she will have a very good chance of being crowned the AUX champion. Curious, we'll get to talk to Joselyn during the game. This is back-to-back weeks for her as a captain. It'd be interesting to see if there are any adjustments she made during the draft or structuring her lineup this weekend. Anna Flippin now ahead 2-0 in the count. Inside 3-0.
Credit to Haley McClenny for her at bat to start out this inning when she drew a walk, saw a lot of pitches. And then Taylor Edwards hit that ball hard to center field too, right at Megan Wiggins. But great at bats put together by Team Alo.
3 full counts out of the first 4 batters. Flippin now just gets strike 1. 3-1 on the way to her. Strike 2, another full count for Masson. Next pitch is number 30. Three-two, outside ball 4. Let's go to Savannah, who has Sam Fisher.
Okay, Sam, after taking that ball off your leg, how did you just rub it out real quick and then regroup to be able to jump on that ball?
Honestly, I feel like that's something that happens to me a lot, so I have a lot of experience in figuring out how to get myself up, dust myself off, and softball is so hard. Hitting is so hard, and I think just like making sure I'm focused every single pitch, one after the other, then good things will happen.
Thank you, Sam. Go put some ice on.
Okay, back to you guys.
You were right. Sam admitted it happens to her a lot.
It does. I feel like I've seen some bruised pictures on her social media of different places on that left leg that she has taken one, and oh, it just doesn't feel good ever. You never get used to that feeling either. It's like, oh, well, it's happened to me before, so it feels a little bit better this time. You never feel like, oh, it doesn't hurt that bad. It always hurts, always.
Did you get hit by a lot of pitches in college?
I didn't, but I've definitely hit 1 or 2 into my leg, and that is way worse than getting hit by a pitch, in my opinion.
Were you not getting hit because you were off the plate, or you were like super acrobatic avoiding stuff in the box?
Super acrobatic avoiding stuff.
Respect that.
I did not want to get hit.
I respect it.
Never learned exactly how to take a pitch, you know, like the right way. I'm just like jumping out of the way, like doing whatever I can to avoid. Thanks for pointing that out.
Absolutely.
Calling me out.
Hey, that's how I would be, no doubt about it. Haley Klingler down in the count 1-2. Well, after all the pitches Mariah Masson has thrown here in this first inning, could still get out of it with only 2 runs on the board. Klingler foul ball. Seems like Bailey Klingler is getting closer. Really smoked one in the final day of series number 2 after a nice at bat. She's a dangerous one if she can get going. Still protecting 1-2.
Yeah, you can start to tell even by, I mean, we talked about this even in Series 1 as hitters were coming back from the offseason. You're starting to see better foul balls off of their bat. I feel like even Bailey Klingler, that's how you're starting to see her come around in Series 2 in the beginning of this series. Starting to get more comfortable.
Klingler, there it is, through the right side, a 2-out base hit to put Flippin in scoring position.
And that's how you know that somebody's seeing the ball really well and very comfortable at the plate, that they're not antsy, that they're not jumpy out in front of everything, trying to protect with 2 strikes. Instead, they're letting that pitch travel, using the middle to right side of the field if they're a right-handed hitter, going the opposite way.
Now the rookie Erin Koffel out of Kentucky. Watches that pitch down low. Mariah Masson had to dance out of some tough spots in her last start of that complete game shutout, but this is the most trouble that she has been in all season long. Erin Koffel not hitting for a great average, has just 4 hits on the season, but did have a big home run in Series 1.
Almost all of her hits have been for extra bases.
2 doubles, 1 home run, and 1 single, and goes down looking right there. Masson needed it desperately. Already, though, 2 across for Team Alo.
Yeah, 2 strike, 2 out, 2-run home run for Sam Fisher after hitting one into her body. Made the adjustment, get all of that one to put Team Alo on top 2-0.
Two 2-0 Team Alo up on Team Masson, going to the bottom of the first thanks to Sam Fisher and that 2-run home run, but plenty of firepower on the other side for Team Masson. Couple walk-offs this year, and they've got both of them on this lineup.
Yeah, they hit back-to-back in the lineup together. Jessie Warren had one earlier this season. That was a 3-run home run, and then the last game that we had of Series 2, it was Tori Vidalis with this one. We've seen her do this a lot in her career in college, and as a professional, she is Miss Clutch when the game gets late. These two are so good, hitting back-to-back in the lineup together, and they're also roomies.
And they've got that lady right there, Aubrey Leach, leading things off. She has been exceptional this season, hit 500 in the last 4 games, all of Series 2, scored 5 times. She's at the top of the order, hitting .346 with a .470 on-base percentage. Takes that first pitch outside for strike 1. Here's Alicia Ocasio from the University of Florida. Became the first pitcher in AU history to reach 200 innings pitched in Series 2. Had her ups and downs since she was crowned champion in 2021, but it feels like she's close to getting back to that great form.
Yeah, she's such a good athlete, and what she can bring in the circle, what she can bring at the plate, you could put her out on defense anywhere. Fields her position well, too. Gonna have to guard a bunt that Aubrey Leach might lay down or a soft slap. But what you're gonna see her do when she is in the circle is just make the ball dance and changing different spins and changing different speeds. She just really can vary things on the spectrum of spin and speed.
Oh my, that was scorched at Klingler, who couldn't handle it. It's kind of curving, so she wasn't sure how to glove it. It's a base search, probably gonna go down as an error, but tough play.
Yeah, remember Aubrey Leach just showed bunt, and then she keeps her feet still and rips this down the line. So just another prime example of why Aubrey Leach is so difficult to defend, especially when you're playing a corner like Bailey Klingler, trying to figure out what she's going to do.
That pitch gets away, so Leach on up to second base. They ruled that Leach swing a single. 10 points for Aubrey. Now in scoring position for Jessie Warren. Series 3 going to be the series of the hitters. It's been pretty balanced overall so far. I don't think it's swayed either way. Pitchers have been much better than they were at AUX last season.
I just feel like everything has felt so even since we came out of the gate since Series 1. Down to the number of runs being scored for each team in that first series. I mean, everything was so even. The hitters have had their moments, the pitchers have had their moments, and the games have just remained so close within a couple of runs of each other.
Warren holds back there. That's a walk. 10 points for Jessie on the leaderboard, and first and second now for one of the hottest hitters in the league, Tori Vidalis. 3 doubles, leads the league. 2 of them came in the same game in the final day of Series 2. Second best average in the league at 385. Watches strike 1. Well, you've seen Tori a lot. You know her well from Texas A&M. What is it that makes her so special at the plate?
She's really calm, and she has a short, compact swing that allows her to get to a lot of different pitches and a lot of different speeds. Because her swing is so short, she doesn't have to decide right out of the hand if she's going to swing or not, or really guess. She can see the pitches for a long time, see them deep, and then decide, does she want to swing? Is she going to be aggressive on the pitch? Is she going to let it go? Doesn't get too big. And I mean, just in the clutch moments, she just stays so calm. Like, it's like she doesn't even have a heartbeat up there. It's like she's just pretty relaxed and calm and cool.
Nadia Taylor tied the game with a solo home run in the top of the 7th the other day to send it to the bottom half. Tori Vidalis came up to lead off the bottom of the 7th and ended the game. Third walk-off home run in AUX history. We've had 2 of them this season. She watches another pitch and battles this from 0-2 to 3-2.
Well, it's like you were saying, too, she doesn't strike out. She doesn't get herself out a lot. She doesn't chase pitches because she has such a good eye. Only 1 strikeout so far this season.
Not ridiculous. I mean,
ridiculous.
For her power, and draws a walk there after falling behind 0-2. So back-to-back walks for Ocasio after the leadoff single from Leach. Now Jordan Roberts with a big chance here. The former teammates at Florida, Roberts and Ocasio, going head-to-head. Jordan just 3 hits on the season. 1 of them a double, has driven in 5 runs. 10 inning win points on the line here in the first. Alicia Ocasio has nobody out so far.
The infield going to try to turn a double play here. Ocasio likes to change speeds down in the zone with her drop balls, so trying to get her to roll over something to her infield. A couple of ways to turn a double play here, too, are a few different ways. You could just go the traditional way where you're just going to second base and then first. You could go home, then first, or if something's hit, a shot to Sam Fisher over at third base, you could touch 3 and then go 1. A lot of different ways that you can get a couple of outs here, and it plays into the hand of Ocasio because she is a drop ball pitcher. Jordan Roberts going to be trying to elevate something to the outfield, though, and work against that.
And Taylor Edwards wants to talk. Down 2-1 in the count. 13 of the 19 pitches from Ocasio have been balls as Joselyn Alo, the captain, looks on.
You know how important these inning win points are if you are Joselyn Alo, and you are sitting in first place in the leaderboard, as important as home runs are and individual points, you have to win the innings. You have to win the games in order to try to stay at the top and to win the AUX season overall.
Roberts puts this one out of play, 2-2, and a huge pitch coming up for Alicia Ocasio. They know each other well. Ocasio was a little bit before Roberts starting her career at Florida. Oh, heads up. Odyssey Alexander out in the bullpen, getting loose. Just one game today for Team Alo. The doubleheader for Team Masson. They'll play Team Nichols in game 2. What's your doubleheader day? If you got to pick, what day do you want to play the doubleheader on?
Okay, so we were talking about this before the game. I want to play it when it's not a doubleheader during the day. There needs to be a night game. It's a little bit cooler. So today would not be ideal, but I'd want to knock it out of the way and have it done first.
So the earliest you could, with it being a little bit cooler.
Yes. Yeah.
This was close.
Yeah, and I think this pitch called for a strike earlier on and did not get the call here, but I thought that was going to be strike 3.
3-2. Roberts hits it well into right center field. Long run for DeBoer. Roberts over the wall in right center. A grand slam. Her first of the season, and how timely it is. Off her fellow Gator to the opposite field.
And also, don't forget, that is 40 points in her pocket.
Just the response from this Team Masson after the Sam Fisher home run in the top of the first. They are able to answer in the bottom of the first, but Jordan Roberts should have been struck out. Maybe that's a pitch before this swing that ended up being a grand slam. Ocasio thought that she got her, and then Jordan Roberts gets this outside pitch that looked like it was supposed to be in. You see where Taylor Edwards was set up. It bleeds back over the plate, right into the swing path of Jordan Roberts, who had a couple of fly balls toward the right side, and then those were foul. This one was not, and it gives her team the lead.
How many times have we seen that, whether it's maybe a call a pitcher wanted or just a defensive error that it seems like it has led to runs every time this season?
We're just bragging on the pitchers, and we've had quite a few walks in this first inning. The pitchers have started out slow. Masson and Ocasio in this game just trying to figure out the strike zone, and anybody who has walked up to this point has come around to score.
Look, I'm not pointing fingers, but you weren't here to finish Series 2.
Yeah.
2 pitchers duels.
Yeah.
Under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Last time I was with you, we had a 2-hour rain delay.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on?
You are kind of pointing at least one finger at me.
Inside Amanda Scarborough in Wichita, Kansas, I'm Chucky Kemp. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Coming to a close this week. Tuesday is the final night of the season. 2-2, fouled off. Let's go to Savannah with Jordan Roberts.
Jordan, you saw 7 pitches, fouled off 3. What was key to taking that ball, Oppo?
I think just being on time for Lily. She mixes a lot, and just being ready for really anything. I think fouling off pitches helped me get my swing off and feel more comfortable with her. I've hit off Lily so much, so I feel pretty confident, but it was just honestly getting my foot down, being on time, and just letting it fly. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I've had some really good at-bats, and it all came together, that at-bat.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think that's what's been so cool to watch is all of these players you just can see them figure it out at bat to at bat, game to game, and you know that they're not going to stay down long. Not that Jordan Roberts was down, that's not what I'm saying, but even you heard her thought process of like, I knew it was right there, I knew it was about to come. Like, you can just feel that with these veteran players, that it's just a matter of time before big things happen for them. They're just so talented. Some of the best hitters in the world are right here in these games.
Having watched the game from your vantage point for this long, what would you have told yourself when you were a sophomore in college maybe that could have helped you out in your career. Nice catch out there by Clark. So much range. They've got her in left field this series, and we'll come back to that question after we take a look at this Mackenzie Clark grab.
Yeah, Mackenzie Clark is so fast, and remember the wind is blowing out, so any ball put in the air is going to affect the trajectory of it for these outfielders. So because the wind is blowing out, I think it actually helped out Mackenzie Clark because that ball was pushed more toward her in left field, able to come up and make that play. But I think it would just be to not judge every at-bat so much, like it's the end of the world, to just take it as the process, which I know is so cliche, but process over results oriented.
Slow roller here. Koffel retires filler. First 4 reach. And then Ocasio goes 1, 2, 3 to get out of the inning, but it's a grand slam for her former Gator teammate, Jordan Roberts.
Now, what an at-bat by Jordan Roberts. Fouled off a couple toward the right side and then got one out over the plate. She was on time and she worked hard for that swing off of her old teammate. Jordan Roberts answers back with Team Masson.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Now, what a night to cap Series 2. Nadia Taylor tying the game, and then Tori Vidalis to lead off the bottom of the 7th, hitting a walk-off for Team Alo. Joselyn wasn't able to get her back on her team this week. What about Jordan Roberts for Team Masson and the response after giving up 2 in the top of the 1st? The 7th Grand Slam in AUX history.
All right, here we go. Leading off for Team Alo.
Not having a bad year at the plate, hitting .250 entering the game. Walked a couple times, hit by a pitch, but looking for that big swing and finally got it as Mackenzie Clark swings through the first pitch for a strike.
And that Mackenzie Clark swing is a prime example of Mariah Masson being able to change speeds a little bit with that screw and rise ball and just really tunnel that pitch to get these hitters off balance. I mean, you saw Mackenzie Clark take a hack thinking that something 70 was coming out of the hand, and instead it's about 63. She's way out in front, but that's why Masson has been so good and so talented this season, is her ability to mix speeds all throughout an AB.
That's just the top of the zone there. 1-2 count now to the rookie Clark out of Clemson. Will also play in the championship season. I think there's a lot of people really happy to hear that. Ooh. But eye level there from Masson to make it 2-2. These last 6 games, so big. The leaderboard going to be changing a lot over the course of today. Masson just 96 points out of first behind Joselyn Alo.
I love seeing it change too. Like even when I was watching at home, I was going to the leaderboard and looking to see who was where. I love seeing it shuffle around with a live leaderboard that you can go up and look up on your own and watch it. Or you can just pay attention to the one that we have here off the bug. Either way works.
It really is so close. The top 15 to 20. I mean, it's crazy. I think everybody within 300 of the leader. Clark sends it into right field. Harding kind of leaps up to grab it there for out number 1. The AU Pro Shop is excited to announce that select Nike softball player jerseys are available for purchase this season. It's limited edition style designed with fans in mind. Won't last long. Visit shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. Ocasio trying to put a bunt down just under the bat here. So Roberts behind the plate trying to now help Mariah Masson get Ocasio out.
Look at the amount of pitches that Masson has already thrown. This is going to be her 50th pitch, and we're not even through the 2nd inning. Even through one time through the order.
Back to Masson, and 2 quick outs, much needed after the way this started for her. She's gone at least 6 innings in all 3 of her starts entering this series. Going to be a big-time test to get to that number today, but you almost have to eat up innings. Your doubleheader day, you can't afford to empty the pen this early.
know you're in it for the long run in this first game, especially being the captain too. You have more that you feel like probably is on your shoulders, that you need to go deeper into this game knowing that you have 2 today.
McClenny lobs one into left field. Alchin makes the grab, and that is exactly what Mariah Masson needed here in the second inning. 1-2-3, and her team in front by 2. 4-2, Team Masson leading Team Alo here in the bottom of the second. 6 runs scored in the first, and then Mariah Masson went 1-2-3. We are joined by one of the stars of the game, Joselyn Alo, second week in a row leading her team, 2-time National Player of the Year. Let's start with this second week as a captain, Joselyn. Any adjustments for you when you built this team or how you ran things this second series?
I definitely wanted 2 pitchers that can live high-low and some pitchers that got some heat as well. So I think this pitching staff really complements each other really well.
Yeah, and how did you decide who you wanted to draft, even first or second? I would imagine there's a lot of pressure with that pick. How did you decide?
Yeah, my first pick was actually Taylor Edwards, so I was surprised nobody snagged her. And I hear a lot of pitchers like to throw to her. She's one of the best pitch callers in the game, so had to get her for myself.
Joselyn, your first season of AU, a little bit different, obviously, with the stuff going on the leaderboard. And how has this experience been for you? It seems like you've acclimated really well, obviously.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I just feel like everybody here is wanting to help you in any way, shape, form. And I just had a blast. You know, the competition's great, and I am who I'm around, and I'm having a blast.
What do you think that you've learned about being like a captain that maybe you didn't know coming into this AUX season, or about AU? Like, what is something that maybe you learned that caught you off guard, or that you didn't know, or that you learned about yourself?
I think really managing the pitching rotation was really hard for me. So first day we kind of got into a little bit of trouble, and I was like, oh, should the pitchers go get warmed up? And then pitchers are like, hey, do you want me to go get warmed? And I'm like, I have no idea, somebody help me. But managed it well, and I kind of let the pitchers kind of do their own thing and talk amongst themselves, but I knew kind of when to take them out and when not to. And I feel like I don't like to normally look at myself in a leadership role, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job of just making everybody happy and getting some dubs at the end of the day.
So you got yourself in the 2-hole today. You were in the 3-hole a lot in Series 2. What was is that just a lineup thing personnel-wise, or is it a place where you're more comfortable?
Yeah, just a lineup thing, more just who we had, and I kind of wanted Taylor to hit behind me. So yeah, I just kind of moved myself up to the 2, but I'm pretty comfortable just in the lineup, actually.
And Jossie, when you're hitting your stance, you're so in your legs. Is that something that you've always done, or how did you become so far deep into your legs and your stance?
Yeah, I've always been very in my legs. Actually, in travel ball, my stance looked a lot like Sam Fisher's. And then once I got to Oklahoma, still incorporated my legs, but ended up adding that leg kick in there. Shout out JT. But yes, I've always been in my legs.
Is there anybody, like, I know you've played with a lot of these players before, whether it was in college or with or against them. Was there anybody in the field that you were excited to play with that maybe you hadn't played before?
Yeah, I was very excited to play with Haley McClenny. Just her international experience, her Olympic experience, and how she just continues to make the game better, grow the game every day. She was someone I was really looking forward to playing with, and just Alabama legend, you know.
And I read an article, Jossie, that you take the aloha spirit with you everywhere that you go. What does that mean to somebody who might not know what that means?
Yeah, just kind of showing love everywhere you go. I like to kind of keep things even keen. I don't like to get too high, get too low. Just kind of always have a smile on my face while I'm competing too. So, yeah.
Awesome, Joselyn. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us during the game.
Thank you. Boomer.
Joselyn Alo leading her team the second week in a row. I think I would encourage you to come out to the ballpark to see Athletes Unlimited. Joselyn Alo is as advertised. This was the first time I'd been able to see her in person, And that first home run she hit in Series 1 was an eye-opener. Look at that from Aubrey Leach. No chance to get her down the first base line.
And this is why, okay, I don't mean to just continue to talk about the same thing over and over again when somebody like Aubrey Leach comes up to the plate, but imagine being a first baseman like Bailey Klingler. The last time up, Aubrey Leach kept her feet still and roped one down the line. Now she runs through the box, goes to more of a soft slap. This is not a bunt, it is a soft slap, and it just dies right out in front of home plate. So many different tools that she can bring in the box with her, makes it her so tough to play.
Jesse Warren stepped out. I think there was time called. There was a poster that had blown out onto the field. And that wind still blowing straight out of left field. Upstairs to Warren.
So that will be the official first pitch, not the pitch before.
I was wondering. Thank you for that clarification. 90 degrees, expected to get up to 98. You ready for that?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you can ever really be ready for that.
Texas.
I know, but it gets really hot here. It does.
Warren ripped and off the glove of Flippin at second. Kowalik going to come around to score. Leach up to third. It's 5-2 Team Masson.
Yeah, this ball was hit hard by Jesse Warren, but this is a play I think Hannah Flippin's going to tell you that she needs to make. Kind of got caught up on her feet, almost was moving toward first base, and then Jesse Warren hit it more up the middle. Tough time adjusting off the bat.
Vidalis swinging first pitch, shallow right field, and diving to grab it is DeBoard. Not going to be able to get it in time to stop Leach from scoring. Goes down as a sac fly for Tori, and a run comes across. It's 10 points for Tori Vidalis on the sac fly. She's in 6th place now.
And remember, it's the wind. This wind continued to push this ball toward right center field, away from DeBoard, who just stayed on it, kept going hard for it, and then eventually laid out to be able to get that ball in.
You can hear the wind just whipping right now in Wichita as Jordan Roberts takes strike one. One count for Roberts after the grand slam. The biggest swing in this game so far that we've already seen 8 runs in. Fisher off the short hop, retires Roberts to finish the inning. 2 more runs come across, 10 more inning win points for everybody on Team Masson. Joselyn Alo, though, coming to the plate next to start the 3rd inning. Her team needs it.
How I do anything is how I do everything. How I approach waking up in the morning, my attitude, my effort is gonna show up somewhere in life. It's gonna show up somewhere on the field. I wanna see what other stars I can reach and what other ceilings I can break. I wanna win the Olympics, just continuing to push myself in everything I do. I'm excited to be playing Athletes Unlimited in Wichita, Kansas, and for the full story, check out my video on YouTube.
And to hear more from Joselyn Alo, visit AU Pro Sports on YouTube to watch the entire video today. She has been incredible in her first year of Athletes Unlimited. Top of the leaderboard in home runs and just top of the leaderboard in general, tied with Bubba Nichols with 4. Alo takes that pitch inside for strike one.
Joselyn Alo has said, too, that she just wants to keep playing for as long as she can. And she has 2028 Olympic hopes. And her goal is to bring a gold medal back home to the United States, but she just wants to keep playing. 2028 Olympics will be here before you know it.
Big news coming out this week, too, about the location of softball in the 2028 Olympics in Oklahoma City.
That's right. Surprise yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of different reactions. Some people excited about it. Some people don't like it at all. A lot of different voiced opinions that were on social media yesterday about that decision.
Would you care to share yours with us?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
Happy that softball is back in the Olympics for sure, but I don't like it for the athletes. They don't get to be around the rest of the games.
Yeah. Foul ball. Let's go to Savannah with more on Joselyn.
Coming into the season, Joselyn talked about she knew she would be playing with some of the best competition she's seen in her pro career. But the thing that's been most unexpected is how much fun she's been having. She said, "This is the most fun I've had playing in a long time." When she goes back and looks at her at bat, she says, "I looked more locked in than I ever had in my pro career." And she credits it to how much she's been enjoying herself, smiling on the field, and it plays into the results she's able to have at the plate.
That time hit it hard, but Jessie Warren in the way.
She likes to play a little bit off the line, back behind third base, positioned well to be able to rob that hit.
Taylor Edwards against Masson. 5 straight retired for Mariah after giving up a 2-run home run in the first, but her team has given her plenty of cushion here. A 4-run lead. And if wondering what the plan was after the first inning, or after the top of the first, thinking, okay, can I get through this lineup maybe twice? But now you think, okay, little leeway here. If she can settle into a groove, she could try and go 6-7 innings again, as she's done in every start this year.
5 straight outs for her.
The pitch count in the first inning through 41 pitches, just 11 in the second.
And you said it in the first inning, too, how important it was that she only gave up 2 runs in that first inning. Just the 2-run, 2-out, 2-strike home run hit by Sam Fisher, who's on deck right now.
We're talking about the pop with Warren and Vidalis, and it ended up being Jordan Roberts' first of the season that gives them the lead. Roberts and Masson trying to figure out how to get the veteran Taylor Edwards at the plate.
That's one thing that we noticed too when Masson was pitching, is that she'll get 2 strikes, but at times we'll have these longer at bats with a lot of foul balls off of her. Just has a hard time with that 2-strike put away pitch that she can get a chase, get a quicker out. A lot of contact off of her, but she still finds a way to get a lot of different versions of outs other than strikeouts.
Oh, back at Masson, who knocks it down and casually makes the play to first for out number 2.
Different versions of getting outs, right? They all look a little bit different, but she's around the zone so consistently with different speed. She can pitch to contact, and even a hard hit ball like that gets her glove up, knocks it down, and still finds a way to get an out.
Sam Fisher.
Back to Sam Fisher, who hit the 2-run home run. Masson has given up just 2 hits. Has walked 2 as well. But 6 straight retired, trying to settle into a groove against the top part of this order. 2-0. Home run was Sam's 2nd of the season. RBI 6 and 7 for her. Takes strike 1 on the inside corner.
Home run back in the first inning was a big one to get Team Alo on the board first, and beautiful swing. Got her barrel out front with that inside pitch and crushed it. Get up into the wind too, just kept on keeping on over that left field wall.
Sam ahead again here. Trying to give her team something to work with 2 away. Be ready down that third base side. Bailey Lang, the facilitator this week for Team Alo. Played 4 years here at Wichita State. Many of those years with Sydney McKinney. Fisher draws the walk. 10 more points for Sam Fisher and gives Hannah Flippin a chance at the plate. That bat's starting to come alive. I think that was something we talked about too earlier this season. You've willed so many great offensive performances into existence, and Hannah Flippin is another one, hit .455 in Series 2.
We saw that one start to come around at the end of Series 1. You could see her at bats just starting to get better contact, get more on time.
It is pretty well on time, deep to right field, and just clears the wall in right center. Team Alo striking back thanks to the veteran Hannah Flippin. Going opposite field with it.
I'm sure that feels good to her too after mishandling that ball out at second base. Tough play, but a play I think that she thinks she should have made. So picks up the bat in her hands for the first time since that play and hits it out of here. And you're right, that is more of a line drive. I thought it was going to hit the shields, hit it here sign, but just missed. There have been two that have almost hit the target out there. Hannah Flippin with the sweet swing.
Her first home run of the season doubles her RBI total to make it 4. Continues her hot streak at the plate. Walked her first time up, now the 2-run home run, and we've got a ball game. 10 runs already in the first 2.5 innings. Klingler to left field. It's ran down out there by Alchin for out number 3, but not before Sam Fisher has a great at bat to set the table for Hannah Flippin.
Yeah, you're so right to give Sam Fisher a little bit of credit for drawing that walk at the bat in the hands of Hannah Flippin for another 2-out, 2-run home run for Team Alo.
.6-4, and the pressure on Team Masson to respond here in the bottom of the third with 10-inning win points on the line. They got the first 2 innings. Now in danger of losing this third one, and that lead down to just 2. A new pitcher out there for Joselyn Alo and company. It's Odyssey Alexander, who had a 3.5 ERA in 6 innings pitched in Series 2, struck out 4 and picked up a save, and that's another one. Feels like Odyssey's been really close this season.
It does. Just a couple of calls here and there within an at-bat that went from potential strikeout in her mind to then a big hit or a big home run that she gave up. So I think that that ERA is a little bit more inflated than what she would like. And then I think, too, of how she's pitched so far this season. She's had some really great moments, but given up a few big hits.
So you go from one champion to another. Ocasio in 2021, and Odyssey was the 2023 champion. First pitch swinging for Kaylee Harding, and one away. Right on the line there to Sam Fisher.
Well, and I really like this mix, too, of having Ocasio start the game and then bring in Odyssey Alexander. 2 different looks with Odyssey coming in, throwing with more speed and hard in. Great play by Sam Fisher to backhand that ball down the line, make that long throw for the first out.
Joselyn Alo told us when we talked to her earlier, felt like her pitching staff complemented each other really well. Now Megan Wiggins at the plate. Wiggins hit her first home run of the season in Series 2. Got Jessie Warren here for a chair chat. Her team at the plate. What's the deal, Jessie? The offense is exploding today in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the vibes are in the dugout are just amazing. So we've really been communicating with what we're seeing at the plate and kind of just committing to what we want to see and what we want to get and killing it off the plate right now.
Jesse, what's the worst part about playing in this wind?
Oh, goodness. I mean, the ball can catch flight in a wind tunnel and do whatever it wants, and then the outfielders are playing on turf, so, you know, if it hits on the turf and can go any way it wants to go. But, yeah, the wind is a little bit of a struggle, and it's like a big factor in how we play the ball.
Jesse, we always talk about like hitter-to-hitter communication, pitcher-to-catcher. What about for you? We know your glove, the legendary glove at third base. How much of a leadership role do you take on the infield when you do get on a new team as far as positioning and things like that?
Yeah, I like my shortstops to know just how much ground I can cover. So, you know, it gives them the opportunity to play a little bit more up middle because I do a really good job covering 5-6 and down the line. So just being very communicative with them on that and just letting them know that I'm playing behind bag, which I do a lot, especially since we have a lot of power hitters in the league. And then if I do have to play up, I'll let them know I'm playing up and they can cover 5-6 a little bit better. But definitely like to communicate just how I play. Oh, I got it. Nope. How I play third base because I play it like a shortstop.
So how have you just gotten so lucky that you just worn the same uniform in all of the series at AUX? Like, how are you always in this blue one with the stripes?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but 6 series at AUX, 6 times in blue. It has to be the eyes. My eyes are blue, so I just fit in this uniform.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice little floater there from Andrea Filler to drop one in to left field. A 2-out base hit off Odyssey Alexander.
In the batter's box for Team Liaisons, the DP from Kentucky.
I love talking defense with Jessie Warren. All the things that she has done growing up throughout her career to prepare herself for basically every possible defensive scenario you could think of, how you would field the ball. Kayla Kowalik singled and scored her first trip to the plate. Following a 2-out rally here, Team Alo in position to pick up their first inning win points of the game. Right back to Odyssey, and this should do it. Kowalik grounds out. And a nice inning in relief for Odyssey Alexander. They pick up 10 inning win points.
An infielder from Kentucky, Aaron Koffel.
My emotions when my name got called were kind of all over the place because going into it, I wasn't 100% sure. You just don't know. I was just relieved, to say the least, because this was my dream. I really wanted to play in Athletes Unlimited because I wanted to play with the best of the best, and it's a dream come true to me, and I'm so relieved and so happy that I get to fulfill that dream this year.
6-4, Team Masson leading Team Alo. The gold side coming to the plate, led off by Aaron Koffel, who picked 11th out of 15 players. I mean, there is 15 players of every senior in the country that are picked, and Aaron Koffel out of Kentucky picked 11th, finished her career as Kentucky's all-time home run and RBI leader. I love the stories that we're starting to hear from these rookies coming in about watching the draft and being able to react. I just don't know that 10, 15 years ago that was necessarily happening nearly as much.
Yeah, the draft has become a huge deal that these athletes look to and maybe have a watch party with their team, or maybe they find out in a different way, but it means a ton to them to hear their name called and to have professional playing dreams when they were younger, and for it to all culminate to that day and hear their name called is super meaningful for them.
Awful off the end of the bat. I think it's interesting. Got the chance to ask some of the players at NCAA regionals this year about memories growing up now watching softball, and that's becoming extremely common as well. Like the Washington players talking about being at softball practice in their youth, but having the TV on off to the side in their facility, keeping an eye on that when Washington was at the Women's College World Series.
You get to see it just so much more often at all different levels, from little league to college through to the professional level. To take in a lot of different softball like you did used to do. Like when I was growing up, there wasn't even YouTube. Like you just watched the Astros, watched the Rockets, and a little bit of NFL too. But that's who I watched on TV growing up, was men playing professional sports.
Just want you to know, you set me up on that there was no YouTube when you were growing up, and I'm going to let that slide.
Wait, why? There wasn't.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, dating myself. There wasn't even a flat screen TV.
Oh man, those were tough too, carrying the ones with the giant backs.
Yes.
I'm glad we're past that now.
Yeah, me too.
Erin Koffel has a 3-2 count, and that is strike 3. Masson gets out number 1. Well, experience AU Pro Softball AUX in person here in Wichita. Tomorrow is Youth Day, presented by Shields. Go to auprosoftball.com to buy your tickets today. We have had, feels like every crowd has been a sellout. I've not ever seen a gap in the stands all season long. I think the fans have started to get more into it too as we've gone on. It seemed like it was kind of a feeling out process early, but now they get into these games, rightfully so.
How about we've had 6 strikeouts in this game, and all of them have been looking strikeouts.
Wow. I had to check you on that. That's incredible.
I know. Well, when you were checking, my heart stopped for a second, thinking that I miswrote one, which can happen, but you just don't see that very often.
Is that like extra satisfying as a pitcher? You get the backwards K?
Yeah, because then there's no ball being put in play. You know, you just don't even see the swing start and kind of worry about what's going to happen. You just hit a spot and go.
Good ABs to start this 4th inning. Koffel ended up going down looking. Mackenzie Clark ahead 3-1. Struggled these last 4 games, 0 for 8. Way out in front of that pitch from Masson.
Probably throw that pitch again. That's a pitch that a couple of times Mackenzie Clark has looked like that on, just can't pick it up out of the hand, go right back to it.
And does drive it through the 5-6 hole.
I don't know why you'd go to anything else other than the pitch that she was way out in front of, and instead they give her something harder that was out and away right into what she wanted. Something a little bit more firm, about 67 miles an hour, and gets a hit off of it. Well done by Clark.
Mackenzie Clark in the 8th spot on the leaderboard. Not far off that top 5. Odyssey Alexander not just entered in the circle for Ocasio, but now takes her first hacks at it.
There have been 21 home runs hit, or I'm sorry, I should say 21 different players have hit home runs this season. And that's about half of the league, half of the athletes that are here, right? There's 42.
Yeah, you're right. That is exactly half the league. To Masson, chance for 2. Quick to Leach, and they do roll a pair. 1-6-3 double play for Odyssey Alexander.
And Masson, using that drop ball down the zone, can create these ground ball outs. You said it, 1-6-3 turn. That was quick and smooth.
Ten runs in the game. Bottom of the 4th we go. Team Masson coming to the plate. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force and Aubrey Leach.
Go, ball! Go, ball! You want to respect the bunt or no? You think you're not? Then you take the bag. I'm going to shift.
Yeah, I feel like we're not like
woo woo rah rah, but we're all very smart. So we like just pass along the information that we need. I'll be the rah rah.
Coke is proud to sponsor Athletes Unlimited.
It's all veterans on that infield. Saying not the rah-rah group, but there's a lot of energy out there. A lot of conversations going on for sure.
A lot of communicating, definitely.
Interesting to see how these teams have been selected. I feel like now all of the newcomers and the veterans are kind of used to each other, so we're seeing that mix in the draft, but we've seen some patterns early on. Aubrey Leach was a captain in Series 1, and she went with all the young guns, and it worked out really well for her. Last week, Mackenzie Clark's first 5 picks were all newcomers. Really good mix, though, this week overall. This is hit hard over to Koffel at short, and they retire Alchin.
Okay, so we've talked about all of her tools after the fact. Let's see how Aubrey Leach kind of plays out this AB, because every time we've talked about all of her tools and how tough she is to play defensively, it was after she put the ball in play. So starts with her feet still there, showing full swing. See if she takes a look at the defense and maybe runs through the box here, or keeps her feet still and swings again. Shows bunt. I mean, you really, if we talk about it after, I think that you kind of miss the pitches that happen before she actually puts the ball in play and how many different looks she can give a defense. So feet still, and then there she showed bunt.
Swings away this time into left field. 3 singles in 3 different forms of hitting.
And so because she showed bunt, take a look at Sam Fisher over at third base, how far up the line that she is playing. So if she was playing maybe where Jessie Warren likes to play, back behind third base, a little bit off the line, maybe she's able to catch this. But because Aubrey Leach has so many different tools, she has to respect the bunt and her speed. She's pulled up the line, and Aubrey Leach punches it past her.
Aubrey was the 13th overall selection in the draft this week. There's some of these hitters that are making their case to jump up into the top 5 to 8 range. I mean, it's hard to not go pitcher strong early, but we've seen Tori Vidalis, Taylor Edwards both be early picks a lot, as Jessie Warren, excuse me, is hit again. The 6th time she's been hit this season. That leads the league. Not sure that's the category she wants to do it in. 8 points for her, but she's in some pain.
Not sure the category she wants to lead in or where she wants to get hit. That is a sensitive area right there, Chucky. Oh.
She's on first. Got hit in Series 2 in a similar spot. Now Vidalis with 2 on. 1 out, swinging first pitch. This is into the clouds. Clark goes over. I think the wind was really trying to push that. Rare to see Tori go down on 1 pitch.
Well, and off the bat, I thought that that was going to be well foul, like just from the angle and how it came off of the bat, and then it ended up pushing it more toward the field, and Mackenzie Clark able to make a play on that. You see now the wind kind of pushing more towards center field and left. That one got caught up in it.
I think we've seen it yet affect a catch not being made, but it definitely has made a couple interesting. For the players who have played in Rosemont, this is not an overly shocking situation to find themselves in. They're used to the wind at Parkway Bank Sports Complex. Mackenzie Clark has not played there yet, but dealing with it nicely in left field. Not that she hasn't played in the wind before, but we're talking some serious gusts today. 2 on for Jordan Roberts, has already come up big once in this game. First 4 batters reached. She was number 4 with the grand slam. Swings through that pitch. Second strikeout for Odyssey Alexander. That'll do it for the fourth. McClenny, Alo, Edwards, top of the order for Team Alo coming up.
There's a lot of things that make a good captain. In the experiences that I've had with captains, the winning teams are the captains that they're for you 100%, they support you, they try to create a safe and welcoming atmosphere within the team and the practices. Chemistry makes a good team. Being willing to fight for the person next to you and like knowing that you're cheering them on like 100% every at-bat, every pitch.
Unique situation to lead your own team. A lot of extra things to think about outside of just playing. We got our first rollover points of the day here. 20 points on the line in the 5th inning. Mariah Masson is just 80 points away from first place, chasing Joselyn Alo. There's Masson's line so far today. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned, and 3 strikeouts. 2 2-run shots. That's the difference for her on there.
Those 2 pitches and entering the game, a 1.40 ERA. That was the best by a run. Second best was Alyssa Denham at a 2.44 ERA.
First pitch swinging for McClenny. That's exactly what you want with Haley McClenny at the plate. Let's go to Savannah with more on Mariah.
Coming into this season, Mariah really focused on honing in on strengths and improving weaknesses. And one of those weaknesses was not having a changeup. She never threw it in college, and she really struggled to develop one. She said, I could teach it all day at lessons with my players when I was a coach, and she always told them, get it deep into her palm. But no matter what, it was something that she just struggled to master. It's something that she really focused on adding to her repertoire this season, just another thing to keep these hitters off balance, and it's something that she's continuously working on, stepping into this year for her as a pro.
Well, and a pitch that she's going to have against a hitter like Joselyn Alo that's must-watch TV every single time that she comes to the plate. You're not going to be able to just throw one speed to her and even just mix it down to her 2 different speeds that she'll throw with her rise, curve, and screw. And then there's that changeup that we were just talking about on cue.
4th strikeout, the 2nd time she's gotten Joselyn Alo, who's 0 for 3 now.
Yeah, and that's a strikeout on 3 pitches. So this is captain versus captain. Masson putting that pitch deeper into the palm of her hand and being able to spin that pitch down and away from Alo, who is a little bit frustrated on that swing.
What makes the changeup so difficult? Is it a mental thing?
It can be a mental thing, but for pitchers that throw with really good velocity, it's a pitch that is just more difficult to grasp for some reason because it's more about rhythm and finesse and a little bit of timing, like just softness to the pitch. And pitchers who throw harder are usually really aggressive, have good energy, just one speed full through a pitch. They've learned to pitch like that and pitch 69, 70 miles an hour. So usually a pitcher that throws with better velocity, a changeup is a more difficult pitch for them to throw.
I feel like we've seen more changeups this year as a whole, right? From all the pitchers.
And that's something that I really noticed last year calling my first games here, is the importance of that pitch, just like that pitch to get out Taylor Edwards.
1, 2, 3 for Masson. Using that off speed effectively. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Her squad up 2. In Wichita, 6-4, Team Masson over Team Alo. Bottom of the 5th, 20-inning win points on the line. New pitcher, the rookie out of UCF, AAC Pitcher of the Year in 2023 before they made the move to the Big 12, where she was first team this season. A little bit of a struggle in Series 2 for her, but only threw 5 innings in that series. Here she comes, though. Had a really good rookie season so far.
She's done a good job keeping the ball down. Realizes that drop ball a lot in her curve and screw on both sides of the plate, and then we'll throw a changeup that you'll be able to spot when you see it. You'll know that it's her changeup. She definitely pulls the string on that pitch, and it slows way down.
We just talked about it last inning. That's a good pitch to have coming into your professional career. Has held hitters to just a 200 batting average against her. Years at Washington, 2 years at UCF to finish her career. Faces Kaylee Harding. A matchup of the Florida schools here.
We can't get further away from each other than Seattle and Orlando, essentially. I mean, what a move for her, right? From the West Coast, went to Seattle, and then moved all the way to Florida, completely across the country.
To see the country in her college career. Kaylee Harding down in the count 1-2, has been a great run producer here in her first season. It's upstairs for ball 2. We've got Odyssey Alexander, who Sarah Willis replaced, in for a chair chat. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Odyssey, we talked when you came in, it feels like you're so close. And today you showed that what we saw last season from you. What did you feel in the circle?
Honestly, just a good connection with Taylor back there. Trusting her and just doing my best stuff and using my best stuff.
Odyssey, how do you continue just to mix your pitches and your looks and your speeds? Like, how do you continue to do that and find different ways to get hitters out?
It's kind of a feel. Like on the last one on Jordan, I kind of took a little bit off the curveball. Sorry. But yeah, just trusting my catcher back there and just honestly playing softball. That's kind of where you got to take it back to.
So you said that last one on Jordan, you threw a curveball, but you just decided to intentionally take a little bit off of it, or take me through that. Like, how did that come about? Because I find that fascinating. I see you do that all the time.
Yeah, well, I knew if I took a little bit off of it, it would have a little bit more movement. So usually my curveball hard is not as movie as that one. So taking a little bit off and making sure I not get it low.
And let me tell you, are you a pitcher that can see your ball move?
Oh yeah, that curveball was that. I just told Taylor, I was like, that one moved a lot.
That one moved a lot. I couldn't really see my pitches move that much and see the spin. I feel like some pitchers can and some pitchers can't.
Yeah, only on certain pitches I'm like, okay, yeah, I saw that one.
What was your offseason like after you won last year? How did you prep? Was there anything different that you did, or did you try and keep it pretty similar?
I kind of kept it pretty similar. Trained a little bit harder and took a little bit more off. Like after season, taking a little time off and, doing things outside of softball. Because, softball can get really hectic because I'm around it so much. So
glad to have you, Odyssey. Thanks for joining us again. You're the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Odyssey.
Thanks.
Megan Wiggins retired. Nice outing for Odyssey Alexander. Can you feel it as a pitcher? I mean, okay, it's building now. It can build off this, and confidence is getting there for her.
Yeah, I just feel like pitchers are athletes that are really in tune with how they're feeling, how a pitch feels coming out of their hand, how they feel in warm-ups, how they feel in that inning. Like, if you are a pitcher, you just really understand to be connected to feel, and you can build momentum off of it quickly. But that's why, too, a pitcher might have a tendency to spiral a little bit in the wrong way as well, because you feel it so much, and then you're like, oh my gosh, am I feeling good today? Like, is this not going to work? Like, was that bad? Like, you start to think too much about it because you do feel a lot, and it can go to your advantage, and it can also go to your disadvantage too. You have to be able to control your thoughts and everything that's going on in your head, and getting yourself to believe that the next pitch is going to be the best pitch no matter what you felt before.
Spot from Sarah Willis right there inside corner against Andrea Filler, singled off of Odyssey Alexander. One of the 2 hits she gave up in her 2 innings of relief. One, 2, and almost snuck through into the dugout.
It almost got in there. You're right. It hit the padding. But I just think it's so interesting to think about. You just watch a pitcher and these athletes compete, and a hitter and catcher alike, and you just watch them go through the physical motions of what they're doing. But there's so much mentally that they're thinking about every second of being out there.
The handle right to Koffel, 2 outs.
It's not just about reacting anymore. Like in the box, you're thinking about what you're looking for and how you want to feel and how to get on time. And in the circle, you're judging every pitch. All right, that was a little bit too far. I need to bring the next one in. I felt this on certain mechanics. Like, you're constantly thinking the entire time when you're seeing the pitch signal come to you, where you want to place it, what the count is, who the hitter is.
Wallach lays down a bunt. Willis throws it off her back, and it rolls away. Harding will score. That is a big run because it wins 20 inning win points for everybody on Team Masson, and that gap between Mariah Masson and Joselyn Alo gets a little bit smaller.
I think that it would be worth challenging this play by Team Alo to see if maybe Kayla Kowalik was inside of the field and not in the runner's lane. I don't think that you have anything to lose. We haven't seen a challenge. We're getting late into the game, and I think it'd be worth seeing just if there's anything there that would show that when Kayla Kowalik got hit that she was not in the runner's lane, which would be an out instead of a run.
At first look, what are you thinking, seeing it live?
That she was kind of in the runner's lane. And I say that because this is just such another one of those tricky rules with how it's worded, that when a batter runner gets hit like this, let's see. And it's going to be tough because it looks like to me her last step before she gets hit, so it's going to be with her right foot. She's not in the lane there, but you'll see that her right foot touches the line before the ball hits her. And if it weren't for that, I would think actually that she was not in the runner's lane, that she was in the field, and that she should be out because she was more so inside the line. But that last step was right on the chalk line with her right foot.
Team Gold is reviewing the running lane at first base and the orange bag is all part of one play. This play is under review.
The wind is so tough to pick up, but that's going to be what they are challenging, is her being in the runner's lane when she gets hit. So, I mean, none of this matters where she's at until she gets hit. And that last step with her right foot was on the chalk line, and I really think that could make a difference between her being safe and out.
Hit her on the right shoulder too. I mean, even if she were a foot to her right outside of the lane, outside of the line, it probably would have got her anyway.
Here, if she were to get hit right here, to me she would be out, but right foot on the line, and then
Runner's lane, she's out.
I feel like this never happens, you guys, that this runner's lane throw gets overturned. So I'm shocked, and that's why it's so tough with these rules to be able to guess what they're going to do. Chucky, overturn, that's a huge call. Takes a run off the board.
You'll get one eventually.
Team Alo in this game channeling the home run power. Joselyn Alo, the captain, hasn't hit one, but it's been Sam Fisher with a 2-run home run in the first inning with 2 outs that got them on the board. And then Hannah Flippin with another 2-run home run with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. So 4 runs scored for Team Alo. All of them have been off of the long ball. The veterans coming up with the bombs.
And all of them with 2 outs. They lead off this 6th inning. Sam Fisher, Hannah Flippin, Bailey Klingler. Their team trailing by 2. Team Masson just picked up 20 inning win points by scoring that lone run in the 5th inning, and that makes way for Maddie Penta. So it's the shortest outing of the season for Masson. Still not bad, as she made it 5 innings, but here comes Penta to face the home run hitters. The rookie out of Auburn has had a really nice season so far. 1-1 with a 3.41 ERA and the 3rd most strikeouts in the league with 11 in just 12 innings.
Speaking of strikeouts, you see how many strikeouts that Taylor McClellan has so far? 23 strikeouts. It's almost double whoever's in 2nd place behind her, which is Montana Fouts.
McClellan 1 strikeout per inning as this is hit through the 5-6 hole by Fisher to lead off the 6th. Bubba Nichols, we asked her, she was our star in the stands the final day of Series 2. We asked, who are you going to take with your first picks? She would not give us the insight, but she took both lefty pitchers, Kaylani Ricketts and Taylor McQuillan, with her first 2 picks. We'll see them in Game 2 today. Top, Roberts catches it. Fisher, though, is able to take second.
I think it's interesting, Chucky, when you look at the stats of each team coming into Series 3, of which team has the best team ERA, which team has hit the most home runs. So Team Nichols' team has hit the most home runs, and Team Alo's team actually has the highest ERA collectively on staff and the lowest batting average.
Second in home runs, but yeah, that was shocking to me.
Yeah.
And to see it, it's not overly close. I mean, that's 35 points lower than the second place team in average. See if that all plays out, how it looks on paper here in Series 3. Hannah Flippin didn't love that call, thought she was on with a 4-pitch walk. Flippin wants to take a second here, talking to Bailey Lang, the facilitator. Runs scored. The teams drafted by Joselyn Alo in Series 2 and Series 3, 72% of them home runs, and has to be because it's Joselyn Alo's team.
That's right.
She hit 2 in Series 2. Flippin takes strike 2 and didn't like either of those last 2 calls.
Let's see if she goes there again and if Flippin gets her barrel there.
3-2.
They go away. Having a hard time guessing some pitch calls today. I would have leaned maybe in a different way. I would have gone right back to the pitch that she didn't even swing at, that Penta was able to get for a strike. Like, that's a pitch I would have gone back to and just kind of risked to see, is she going to get her barrel there or is she not? Because there was clearly a reason she wasn't swinging at it.
First 2 runners Penta faces get on. Look at Warren! Stabs it at third and throws to first! Jessie Warren! Add it to the highlight reel for the superstar third baseman.
This is the type of play that you see live and you just can't help but be jaw-dropped. I mean, we are right here down the third baseline, and off the bat, that looked like it was behind Jessie Warren, but she still stopped it, touched on third, and then threw it across the diamond to finish off that double play. But a seriously jaw-dropping play by Jessie Warren, who's playing up the line. That ball got on her quickly, and she handles it with ease.
And look how big that play becomes, because Roberts not able to handle that pitch from Penta, so it moves Flippin to third, but that's potentially the game tied if that goes through. Definitely 1 run going to come across.
Wow.
I'm just realizing they took that run off the board last inning, so I was thinking that they did score, but it was the runner interference that wiped that off the board. So we have 30 inning win points on the line here in the 6th. As if that play weren't big enough already as far as the grand scheme of this game.
I mean, that was just incredible.
Penta catches the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Still trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Team Masson plays a doubleheader today. Koffel just fouled down the left field line, 2 strikes. We've seen Masson, now Penta. The other 2 pitchers are Alyssa Denham and Alex Storako. You would guess Denham will not appear in this game. Koffel left field straightens this one out. It's down. And Flippin will come across. Koffel holds it first. That's big from Aaron Koffel to come through after the double play by Jessie Warren.
That's a huge swing, just pulling that momentum right back after that double play where it just seemed like Team Masson just took all of the energy away from Team Alo until this swing right here where Aaron Koffel goes down in the zone, gets that pitch a little bit out in front of it, but finds that hole on the left side.
Inside, and Mackenzie Clark gets hit by the pitch. First and second. About Joselyn Alo, too, the versatility. 3 of her 4 pitchers also hit. This is the 3rd different pitcher we've seen hit for Team Alo today.
A revolving door of hitting pitchers down in that 9 hole.
Who are we missing, hitting pitcher-wise, in this field? Is there anybody else they could have rounded it out with, the 4th? Could have went with Kaylani Ricketts. Hasn't hit this season, but certainly did when she was at Oklahoma. Willis falls behind 0-2.
Mariah Masson, she hit as well.
There you go. I was interested to see if Mariah would put herself in the order. We'll see maybe when she's not pitching if she does. Willis goes down looking. 3-pitch strikeout there for Maddie Penta. Ooh. Go ahead, take it away, partner.
I'm telling you, this is just one of the best plays that I've seen live with the acrobatics from Jessie Warren over at third base to turn a double play. She is a defensive MVP.
Great start to Series 3. Couple 2-run shots, a grand slam, and here we are, 30-inning win points on the line in front of a packed house at Wilkins Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. That temperature up to 93 now, still 5 degrees to go. I think it feels like in the 105 range, probably. 120, I'm not sure. I can assure you that with a dress shirt on and suit pants, it's quite warm.
Yeah, it does feel like 100, Chucky, you're right. And it does say sunny and wind to be on the lookout for.
They got it. That
Nailed
is
it.
On the money. 9-1-2. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Team Masson trying to get some insurance before they will need just 3 outs to finish this game. Outside corner to Jadalyn Alchin. 1-2 here to the former Bruin and Husky, 4 years at Washington. Alchin swings through it, strike 3. Out number 1 there in the 6th, and we've got Joselyn Alo mic'd up again. Joselyn, 1-2-3 coming up for your team, down 1 in the 7th inning. What are you thinking going to the plate here, approach-wise?
I'm feeling good. We got Halo, me, and Taylor, so we all are just gonna get the party started and score some runs.
Jossie, do you feel any pressure at all being at the top of the leaderboard going to this last series, or what is that like for you to handle?
You know, a little bit, but I've been dealing with pressure Montana. I've been dealing with pressure my whole life, so at this point it's like whatever happens, happens. If I win, I win. If not, I've had the greatest experience here at Athletes Unlimited, and I have 0 complaints.
And we get a pitching change here. What's the decision here to bring in Montana Fouts?
Bringing in the heat, baby.
Montana replaces Sarah Willis. Joselyn, again, we appreciate it. And we'll see Montana Fouts on the other side of this break. Montana Fouts' first season as a pro out of Grayson, Kentucky, four-time All-American at Alabama. Struggled a little bit in Series 2, but we saw how elite she can be in Series 1.
Back with Joselyn Alo with Montana Fouts in the circle. Jossie, did you plan on using all 4 of your pitchers in this game? Was that the game plan coming in?
I did. I just thought as a hitter, it's really annoying to see a different pitcher every single at-bat, so wanted to get everybody going today and gonna use them more strategically tomorrow, but yeah, I did plan to use everybody.
Before we let you go, Jocelyn, I have to ask you about Montana Fouts. You guys work camps together. Just what's your relationship been like? Where did that connection come from?
Yeah, you know, it kind of just like spurred out of nowhere. She asked me to come out to a camp, and I was like, yeah, I think the exposure would be really good for the both of us, and ended up having a lot more in common than I thought, and we're both Harry Potter geeks, so love that about us. But now she's my roomie, and I got Bailey with me, but yeah, we're planning to do a whole lot of other camps. We actually have one coming up in New York together, so gonna make some money and then spend some money.
Love it, and I'm also all on board with the Harry Potter, so well done.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jocelyn.
Top of the order here, 1 out. Can Montana Fouts close the door and give them a chance here? Keep this at a 1-run game.
Well, and look at how well it's worked for her to mix up the pitchers. Team Masson has not scored since the 2nd inning, so put up 3 consecutive shutout innings, and now Montana looking to do the same to give Team Alo a chance to stay in this game and pull ahead in the top of the 7th, tie it up, see what happens.
Aubrey, a really tough out today. 3 for 3, 3 singles. We've seen her swing away and hit one through the right side. Saw her lay down a bunt and saw her go opposite field over the head of Sam Fisher at third base for a base hit. Look at that leaderboard. Alo ahead of Masson by just 68. And there it is. Leach goes down looking. First time she's been retired today. Brings up Jessie Warren to face Fouts now.
The third baseman from Florida State, number 30, Jessie Warren.
Warren has reached all 3 times, a walk, a single, and a hit by pitch her last trip up.
We talked before the game about how close these games have all been, that 10 of the 12 games that we've had coming into this one have been decided by 2 runs or less, which, look at what the score is, 1-run game, late in the game. These games have just been so close.
It's been an intensity to AUX this season. Great energy from these teams. Joselyn Alo, Odyssey Alexander looking on. Alo hoping to join Odyssey as a champion of Athletes Unlimited. Inside corner, strike 2 to Jessie Warren. I think Jessie's got defensive MVP honors maybe in her future for this game. Here's what you're talking about, Amanda. 10 of 12 games decided by 2 runs or less, 7 by 1 run. Had our fair share of pitchers duels too.
The game, I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that because I'm like put on these games and they're telling me to say it. Like, the games have been so good because they've been so close, and every inning it's just been back and forth. Down to a couple of walk-off home runs, one of them that Jessie Warren hit when she was a captain.
Tori Vidalis right behind her has done the same. This is a big out for Fouts to not get to Tori Vidalis. Warren right at Flippin for out number 3. So Willis gets the first out, Fouts gets the next 2. But the top of the order for Team Alo, Haley McClenny, Joselyn Alo, and then Taylor Edwards. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. We got a lot of the young players getting to meet the pros here in Wichita. That's one thing that they do so well with Athletes Unlimited is you watch down the right field line after the game, signing autographs, making sure everybody gets some great memorabilia here at the ballpark. That was a big inning for Team Alo, regardless of the result here. They have won 40 of the 60 possible inning win points so far. That run in the 6th was worth 30 points for everybody on their team. And now the game is up for grabs here. 6-5. Team Masson needs 3 outs to finish off game 1 of their doubleheader with a win. Haley McClenny leads off. 0-2 at the plate with a walk and a run scored in this game. First look at Maddie Penta. Penta got in some trouble in the 6th inning, but Jessie Warren's incredible play at third base helped her get out of it with a double play. It's strike 1 to McClenny. Haley was a quick out her last trip to the plate in the 5th, so you knew she was going to come up and battle this time. Hits the deck right there as Penta goes up and in. It's that Auburn-Alabama rivalry, right?
Maybe. That was great reacts by Haley McClenny. Man, that's scary.
Two-1 now. McClenny stays in there and fouls one down the left field line. It's gotta be tough, right? I mean, something up and in right at your chin and having to stay in and fight now.
Remember, I mean, by the time that Maddie Penta releases the ball, she's probably 35 feet away from Haley McClenny. I mean, that is not a lot of reaction time at all.
Outside corner, McClenny goes down looking for out number 1.
It's a huge out. To keep her off of the base pass when you face Joselyn Alo is a major out. So getting every single inch of the outside corner with Jordan Roberts goes back to that outside pitch. You can see that Haley McClenny was actually leaning a little bit on her heels when she took that pitch. A strikeout looking for Penta for the first out.
Now a conversation here. Jordan Roberts talking to Maddie Penta and a couple of the infielders as Joselyn Alo gets set to step in. All it takes in this win, high fly ball.
I want to talk this one over of how they're going to pitch her. Do they want to just put her on first? Like, is that an option? Well, no, because then Taylor Edwards is on deck, and if she comes up and hits a home run, then they take the lead. I mean, when you're in a close game like this, decisions and strategy are so important. And look at that first pitch, just going right at her, getting ahead in the count, 0-1.
Inside corner's been good against Alo today. She struck out twice. Doubles her season total entering the game. Had just 2 so far through the first 2 series. Has had some big swings in this AUX season. This is a spinner. It's going to stay fair. Alo trying to move down the line. She's safe. It's into right field, and she's going to take second. Not how you thought she'd stand on second base, but the hustle pays off.
Oh, man, if you're Maddie Penta, you're thinking, how did I not get Joselyn Alo out on that pitch and that swing and how it came off of her bat? She just got jammed galore, and then that thing was spinning like crazy. Tori Vidalis did everything that she could with Filler coming over to cover first base, but great hustle by Joselyn Alo to use her wheels to get down the line. She saw that throw get past her and is able to take second base as well and move herself in a scoring position.
Now a pinch runner, Morgan DeBoard, the rookie out of Minnesota, spent most of her career at Loyola Marymount.
Will go down as a single for Alo and then an error on the throw that got her to second base.
You mentioned the wheels, but she really does have some decent speed. Edwards pops the first pitch up and out of play.
God, that ball, too, off of her bat was just spinning like crazy. We got such a good look at what it looked like when it hit the dirt and just how it just continued to spin.
Edwards into left field, shallow. Decent run there and a sliding grab by Alchin for out number 2. Speaking of speed.
Good jump by Alchin right off of the bat. You just never know with this wind. Have to play everything so carefully and know exactly what the wind is doing at all times.
Sam Fisher already has a 2-run home run today. Has not recorded an out at the plate so far. A walk and a single in her other 2 trips to the plate. That last single was off Penta. (1-0). Inside corner, strike 2. Team Alo picked up those 30-inning win points in the top of the 6th, but this inning basically worth 60 with the game on the line. Foul ball and Fisher down 1-2.
Think about how important all of these points are at this point in the season, with how close the leaderboard is and what that would mean for Masson, what that would mean for Joselyn Alo, and all the individual players who are scattered all over the leaderboard.
Off speed in the dirt from Penta. Evens the count at 2-2. Bottom of the hour, we are over on ESPNU for game 2 of our doubleheader. Team Nichols making their Series 3 debut against Team Masson. Fisher ground ball, this could do it. Filler takes care of her, and Team Masson picks up 60 win points as they put a 0 on the board in the top of the 7th, and Mariah Masson will be within 50 of Joselyn Alo when those win points are added in.
Joselyn Alo breaking the 1,000-point mark, and great team win by Team Masson. They scored early in this game and then were able to put up some zeros when they needed it the most. Team Alo tried to claw their way back in. Another 1-run game. That is the 8th 1-run game that we've had this AUX season.
A lot of drama here in Wichita. Can't wait to see what game 2 holds. Just 5 games remain in this entire season. Joselyn Alo still the top of the leaderboard, but a number of players closing in. Team Masson wins the first game of their doubleheader. They're back shortly against Team Nichols on ESPNU. We'll see you there.